Hello. Happy Wednesday. This is week 3 of Bootcamp. So I'm excited. Like I said, my voice is a little in and out, FYI, so I won't hold you all super long just because it might go out. But tonight is really short and sweet and simple anyways, because we're just talking things that we already know, but how to switch things up. Okay, so one thing, and I didn't even realize to do this until, I'm just gonna be honest, I didn't even realize to do this until maybe a year or two ago, and it just kind of clicked. I think I heard it on a training once, was the main thing is, we sit and take the time to write our captions, right? We write our posts, we have these bomb posts, and it's like, it doesn't last as long as a reel does. You can post a reel and it can be going off for weeks, it gets traction and all of that. With posts, it's not like that at all, right? We can maybe get 3 or 4 days out of it, especially on Facebook, then it's just dead. So like I said, I think I heard it on training once, but it just really clicked. Using your post that you put all this work into and then repurposing it into a story. And I'm telling you, when I started doing that, just taking a post, it can be something simple. I know Brittany posted something good earlier. Let me go to Brittany's post real quick. It says, it's just Waymaker, one who makes a way, blah, blah. It's an empowered woman. It's the community for me. It's a really long, really good post. And she probably took, a good amount. Why is my phone? There it goes. She probably took a good amount of time writing that. So instead of letting it go to waste, she can take that and just copy and paste it into her notes or whatever. And she can take it and put it onto whatever you use, Canva or Over or whatever it's called now, Studio, an Unfold, just taking the different parts and making it more slides. And then she gets way more out of that. So I'm telling you, when I started doing that, it's people that had maybe, for one, had seen my post before. It's that second time seeing it, kind of we say you have to follow up 7 to 21 times. When we say that, it doesn't mean you hop in somebody's inbox 7 to 21 times. That's not what it always means. It means they're seeing your things, they're hearing it from you, or you're sparking their curiosity 7 to 21 times. They need to be repetitive in seeing these type of things. They may see your post once and just kind of scroll on by, but if they see it several times or it hits different on a different day, then it just kind of clicks for them sometimes. So that's what I learned when I started repurposing my content and taking my posts and using them to make new stories. Another thing, we tell you all not to copy and paste. Obviously, we don't do that here. But with Brittany's, hers is really pertaining to her story, but using her post, switching it up, like I said, not copy and pasting it, but it is easier to do this in a story, an unfold, versus taking somebody's whole post and making it a post. That's a no-no. So when you do it and kind of make it your own in an unfold story, that's completely different. So really just letting that inspiration from those, if I see Shanice's post and I'm oh dang, that post was bomb, the way she worded this little part, I think I'm going to use that and take that part and add it into something for you on an unfold story. So it's not screwing up algorithms because I completely took Shanice's whole post or whatever, because it flags, if I took even just a part of her post, Facebook registers that. They know, it's a whole algorithm. It's not somebody sitting there all day monitoring it. It's they have it set up to where the same words, if you say COVID on your stories, it automatically flags the bottom of your screen on your stories. It's because they're set up that way. That's how Facebook and Instagram is set up. It flags stuff. Or, if it has a certain amount of words, same thing if you're in school and writing an essay. If you completely copy somebody's essay, teachers have a way of knowing whether you do that or not. Same thing on Facebook and Instagram. So when you're taking people's posts, we don't tell you not to do it just because, of course, that's work that someone else put in and it's their story and you're not being genuine, but it's also because you're wasting your time. You're literally wasting your time copy and pasting somebody's post because yours isn't going to get the traction that they did, or it can even hurt their post. If I go right behind Shanice and post her same post, that's going to mess it up for mine and her post, because Facebook is flagging it and seeing the same thing. And they're okay, what is this? A copy and pasting? So, but with stories, it's not like that. Now, I'll tell you, they do the same thing with, say we're all waking up and posting the same 3 steps in our, like the same pictures, the same words and everything in our stories. They do see that. But like, they're not going to know that I just took Shanice's part of her post and made it into an unfold story. So really, really getting creative with that. But also, like I said, all the hard work that you've put in making these captions and these posts and, you know, your even your TikToks and your reels, taking those things and making it into an unfold. Or like, you know, maybe you had a reel that you really, really like, take that video. I know Brittany does this all the time. If you go look at her page, you can see her reels and her content and then her stories. It'll have the same videos in it, the same pictures. All she's doing is just using it on different areas. So really, really using those things and making your stuff work smarter, not harder for you, like making everything work for you. That's just really, really one way of putting more content out there. Another thing that Brittany does a ton too is she'll take like regular stories that she had on Unfold or whatever, and then make them videos. And I don't mean like a video of herself, but she'll make it to where, like, you know, the words come up one at a time, or it'll come on the screen and flash or whatever. Like, she gets really creative with stuff like that. That completely changes up the content. So it's just playing around with anything that even you've already done. I know a lot of times I will go, like, if I have these stories, like a lot of us do this, it's just like one plain picture and you kind of like blur it out a little bit and then you put your words over it and it's like, you know, $500,000 team, blah, 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 and you give them the stuff. I go and change just the background picture all the time. That's very, very simple, but it changes it up, changes the aesthetic of it, you know, catches people's attention. It's not the same thing over and over again. So like I said, really working smarter, not harder is huge. Brittany's dropping all of the apps that she uses on here too. And that's a lot that I use. But just really, really knowing that when you sit down and you're making a post, because I know this is a lot of your issue, you don't want to, like, it does take time. It takes time to make really good posts. It takes time to put the if you're batching it, especially, which we'll talk about that in just a second, but it takes time to type these things up and plan out your content. And then you feel like you worked hard and then, oh, well, I got 2 likes. So this is just another way of knowing that you're taking your content and all that time you put in is not in vain, because you can use it for stories. You can use it again for this or that or whatever. Even with reels, taking your reels on a video and using your content on that too. You can make posts on your reels, like putting words up. It doesn't, you know, your reels have to be like, sometimes they can be fun. So like I do some with Ari all the time. Can y'all hear my kids? I'm sorry, they're so loud. Okay, good. But taking your words too, like, you know, you can put stuff about your product, stuff about your business, stuff about yourself. Really taking those things, like, that's why it's so important to do your 5s in branding and your 5s with products and business and everything. We have trainings on all of that. But taking all of that and just repurposing it constantly. Maybe you got a ton out of like the way you explain the business on this one post. Use it again in your story. Use it again in another business post in a few weeks. Like, save these things that you feel like you're getting good traction from. So I'm trying to look at my notes really quick. But that's really, really huge. I feel like I said, I feel like a lot of people think that they just put so much time into their content and they get upset when you're only getting 2 likes or something. So make sure that you know what you're doing is not in vain. You can reuse these things. You can repurpose things and make it into, you can hear them, I'm sure they're so loud. You can use them for stories or reels or anything. Okay, so batching content. This is something that I have done probably from day one. I have a good size local team though, so we'll do this often. Like, we'll get together and do lunch, and we'll take pictures and do reels. Like, we batched the last time we were together, we batched reels and we had like a ton. They were really, but it's fun. It's just like, we take a day. And it doesn't even have to be a day. You know, maybe you don't have anyone around you. That's fine. I do this at my house too. Like, I'll sit and take a day or just a couple hours and just get ready. And then I'll have outfits laid out and I'll just change my shirt or my outfit or whatever and just take tons of pictures. All I do is set up my ring light or tripod or whatever you have. I know Janie's really, really good about having her tripod, and she'll go to different places. Like Brittany, her video today, she did that by herself, I think, right? just taking pictures in front of your car, setting up a tripod, like anything that you can do. But if you have people around you, then even better. I mean, it makes it more fun. Like I'm having my first team retreat this weekend, so I'm super, super excited about that. So we'll be batching a ton, but batching it, that's what I thought with my tripod. But batching is really, really, like, I look like this majority of the time. Like this is me. So when I don't want my feed to look like this, I have to take the time and get ready one day and take some pictures. So, or, you know, if me and my kids are dressed and going to church one day, I make sure that I take some extra selfies or some boomerangs. I like to sit down and most of my reels, I don't do those every day. I batch my reels. That's one of the main things. Batching your reels is huge because, you know, we have to sit and, you know, get inspired, or even if you know what you're going to film, you have to find the music. So really sitting down and batching my reels is huge for me, just because, you know, having a million kids and running 24/7, like, we don't always have time to sit down every day and do that. I mix hot mess and put together. And see, that's what I do a lot of times too. Like, my posts will be, like, you can go look at I think I just posted a hot mess one the other day. And I'm like, you know, the reality is, you see me post these pictures of me put together, but this is what I look like every day. Like I just posted a picture of like Ari on my lap. I did a reel today that it was like, I'm 98% of the time I look a hot mess or whatever. You have to put you in it. So if you constantly show up on social media, like put together, they're going to think that that's how your life is. It's perfect and you're put together. You need to show up as a hot mess sometimes. You need to. It's a priority. So it has to be able to find behind the scenes. So that is what I do. I batch my content a ton. So like I said, I will take a couple hours one day a week or something like that and like plan out my outfits, get myself together, do my hair. And then those are the days that, honestly, like, one thing that works for me too is I try to plan an op live, or I know a lot of y'all call them dual lives or whatever. I try to do one of those with my friend or someone on my team. And like, that hypes me up. When I do lives, it hypes me up. So then I'm like, okay, you know, I'm pumped now. Let me go take some pictures. So you need to find those things too that hype you up. What makes you happy? What gets you excited? I know sometimes we dread lives, but like, don't you feel better when you do it? Like tonight, I don't feel great, but I already feel better just being on here because this is what I like to do. So, you know, I'll get off of here and I'll knock things out. So if you know things that fire you up, like going live or doing whatever, do that. And then, you know, go for it. Then, you know, you can batch your content or whatever. I was going to say something else. What was I about to say? Hold on. Brain fog is awful this week. Do I organize my pics? That's what I was going to say. So this is what I do when I batch my content. And I take a ton of pictures. I know Brittany sent it because she did hers today. Let me pull it up real quick. I'm just going to pull up my Lightroom. So I sit down that night. And then let me give you one more tip real quick with this, because I am awful when I take pictures and I never like them. So don't delete anything the first few days. Wait like 3 days. It sounds crazy, but wait 3 days. Then go back and look at the pictures. And I promise you're going to like a couple of them. Like, I don't know why I do this to myself all the time. I'm like, oh, I hate that. I hate that. But then when I go back in a few days, I'm like, okay, well, maybe it wasn't that bad. Like, I look straight, I guess. So I do that all the time. I don't know why I'm like that. But I'll give y'all some examples. So I think y'all can see these. This was all in like a 1 day batch content. You see, like in one picture, I had like a hat on. And then the next picture, I took some in a Nike hoodie. Like, that's just how I batch it. And then I think, yeah, I took some out on the porch. Like, that is what I do. And another thing, if you have someone by you, or even if you don't, if you have the funds to do it, it's so fun. Go get a branding session done. Find a photographer in your area, especially if there's like, maybe you can barter it. You can trade somebody 3 steps for it to do your pictures, and just do like a cheap photo session. The woman that did mine, me and my best friend Howard had ours done together. They were really, really cute though. I don't know if y'all can see those. Like, we had pictures done at a quarry together. But we just paid a photographer, got together and did them. So that's another way to split costs. But it's so fun. And just pick out like your branding colors. And those pictures lasted me forever. Like, it's great to just throw in some professional ones too. Let me see. So all of this was 1 day. I just literally changed my sweater, change into a sweatsuit. Like I said, I try to keep it very, like, y'all know I'm in a pink suit half the time. I'm not in no sweater and some heels. Like, I'm just not. Like the day that we were doing all of our reels with Shanice and everybody here in Knoxville, they will tell you I did not leave my boots on for very long. I was like, nope, I'm done. But that's just one way of getting different content and getting yourself out there. So that's what we do a ton of the time. Like I said, same thing. I was dressed in one picture, the next is a Nike outfit. So make sure that you're switching it up and you're not always trying to look presentable, I guess. I mean, I guess you can still look presentable when you look a mess, but make sure that you're really infusing those different looks of yourself. If you're constantly like showing up in high heels and then someone sees you in person and they're like, whoa, like, because you have your hair pulled up and you're in sweats, like, make sure you're staying on brand to who you really are. Like, you can get fancy every now and then, but like, just know you're going to catch me in some tennis shoes. So I really, really try to do that. But batching content is so huge. It just, when you have weeks that you're off, like this week when I'm sick, I actually didn't batch anything last week, but I had some of like me and my husband at my mother-in-law's party, so I was fine. But times like this when you're sick, you'll have stuff to post. You'll be able to put things up. And then the captions too. So a lot of times what I do is in my notes in my phone, anything that I'm inspired by. So the other day I had a thought in the shower. So as soon as I got out of the shower, I went and typed it up real quick. Oh, let me find it really quick. But anytime that I have ideas for, like this one just says my purpose and whatever I was thinking in the shower that day. It can be like anything that you hear on a training. I'm trying to find this specific note. I just seen it. But it was something that, here it is. So it says niche at the top, and I put create options, choice freedom. Y'all, if y'all have ever done like a live with me or whatever, I know I just did one with Carmen the other day, but I talked about choice freedom. That's something that I talk about all the time. Something I talk about all the time too is like when I'm doing lives, I'll say, I'm not here to help you be successful just in this business. I'm here because I want you to be a good wife, a good mom. I want you to have the energy to do your day-to-day. That's just something that I say very often. So, but I don't put that in a post. I don't know why. So I sat and thought about these things the other day. What are things that I tell my team? What are things that, I tell a potential? That way I know that I'm putting it out on my content. And then I heard something on a training the other day that said that they were just in a mom funk. That's why they started this business. And I was like, oh, me too. And like that just sparked some, energy for me to write a post about that. Another thing that I had wrote down was like improve quality of life. Like it's literally all just in my notes, and I make posts off of this. So if you've ever been, I used to do batch content. I did it for Zooms, and then I did it. There's still some lives in our Waymaker. I'll pin them, or like that. What is it called? I can't think. I'm telling y'all, brain fog is awful. Like bump it to the top. There we go. Bump it to the top in the team page. I'll bump it to the top. But I used to do batch content lives and stuff. Don't laugh at me, Shanice. But I used to do content lives and stuff where I would literally tell you, okay, today you're going to plan out this week. On Monday, we're going to talk about auto bonus. On Tuesday, we're going to talk about, payday and whatever. Like I would sit and tell you what to write your captions for. And we would sit and write our captions out for the week every week. That way you had it planned. So if you batched your content and your pictures, and then you batched your captions to go along with it, your week should go easy, right? So you can set alarms like every day at 2:00. I know I need to post. So then you literally have your picture, your post, everything ready. And then organize your pictures. I don't think I ever answered that question, Carmen. What I do is when I take all my pictures, like I said, don't delete them for a few days. I automatically, anything that I do like, I go and I upload it into my Lightroom. So if you don't, I know we say this all the time, but if you do not have presets, you need a preset. You need to try something out. I don't care if it's dark, if it's a light one, if it's a moody one, I don't care what it is. You need a preset. I love presets. It makes a huge difference. So I automatically upload all of my pictures to Lightroom right away. Anything that I like right then and there, I upload it to Lightroom and I go through and I put my preset on it, because that's the easiest task, right? When we put off the easy, things get hard. You need a post in a time crunch, you already have it done for you. So that might be the hard thing at the moment, sitting down to do it, but it's honestly the easy thing. So I automatically put everything in Lightroom. So all of my pictures are in Lightroom, so that when I say, and everybody's phone may not be like this, but mine is. So when I save them out of Lightroom, I have on my photos an album called Lightroom. So when I go to Instagram and go to post, I can go straight to the Lightroom, and that's all of my edited pictures ready to go. You can do, I know you can plan on like Planoly apps and stuff like that. Yeah, there's tons of free presets. Lightroom even has free presets, but Etsy has cheap ones. I get mine off of Etsy usually. But captions, I always save like in my notes on my phone. I don't pay any extra apps and stuff like that to do it. So that's one thing that I try to do very often. That way, if I have a thought, it's in my notes, and you can literally make a note in your phone. Even if you don't have an iPhone, I know that Samsungs have note options, and it can say like, I have one that says Thrive Posts. It can be that simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Do I pay for Lightroom? No, I don't think so. No, I don't pay for Lightroom. It's free. So Lightroom's very easy for me. It might be hard to figure out when you first start. I'm not going to say it's not, but after that, it's like the easiest thing for me in the world. I seriously upload my pictures, and you just scroll over on each picture and it says preset, apply preset. That's it. It's super, super easy. So, but this is with anything that gets you out of your comfort zone is going to be hard at first, right? Like when we downloaded this, we've been using this Airtable app for leadership. So that was hard at first. I was like, what the hell? I don't know what I'm doing. But that's how I am with everything. Like, I don't know how to work my MacBook half the time, but we just got to figure it out. But really taking the time to plan your content, planning your captions, it makes you feel better, because you feel like, it's done for you. You sat down, you took the time to do it. And now if you are in a time crunch, or not, even if you're not in a time crunch, you have stuff planned and you're good to go. So I do recommend doing this weekly, if not bi-weekly. I do recommend having a buddy if you have like a friend around you or something, or if you have any kind of team thing that you get together about. Take pictures those days. Have your husband take pictures of you. Have your kids take pictures of you. I mean, it's really not hard, but like I said, get a tripod. I like to do it when I'm alone. Like, I'll get my tripod or my ring light or whatever, and I just go knock it out. Especially like I'll sit here in the same spot at my desk and do my reels all the time. Do they allow you to try them out to see if you wanted to? On Lightroom, they're all free. You can try those. On Etsy, no, I've bought literally millions of presets and don't like half of them. So make sure that you're really like reading reviews and stuff like that too. So, but presets, you're gonna have to play around with it and figure out what you do like and stuff. Let me read my notes. I feel like I got off topic. Let's see. Growing networks. I'm trying to think. I love getting free ones. Yeah. Trying to think of how many of you all would be newer. So like if I should keep it on that. I haven't got any of M's presets. What was I gonna say? Let me think. So I've been unfollowing lately on Instagram, and I've actually been removing. So if you look at my Instagram, I've always had, I think at one point I had like 20K followers or something, but don't look at me like, oh my gosh, you want that, because you don't. I'm just going to be honest, unless you have like really niched down and grown your Instagram to where like those 20K followers would be completely in love with you and loyal or whatever. That wasn't how it was for me. I came from a time where like we just mass added and followed and stuff like that, like did all the things the wrong way. That's what we were taught back in the day. So a lot of my people aren't my people anymore. Like things have evolved and changed, and foreign guys follow me all the time. Like so what I have been doing, and it has helped my algorithm. So like I said, I've been unfollowing. And all that I do to unfollow, I'm super simple. I'm super, super simple. I will go to my following, and at the top it says least interacted with. I go to those people, I look at their page, and I unfollow them, because 9 times out of 10, we're not interacting with each other for a reason. I know a lot of people go and engage that way. I don't, just because I feel like if they're not even looking at my page, like it is what it is. Followers. This is what tells my algorithm. Maybe you don't have that many followers. So maybe if you only have like 800 followers, you don't have to do something like this. But with me, like I said, I have a big number. So I go and remove my followers any guys that's on there. Like the other day, I don't know why I searched R on my followers, and like there were tons of guys that started with the R. I don't know. That was weird. I don't know. So I just literally went through and removed people, any females, even like any women that were following me that I just felt like, I'm not vibing with you. I removed them as a follower. I don't care about the numbers. Like if I could start back from, I don't want to say that because I don't want to have to start back from scratch, but you know, if I could erase like 10K followers, I would do it. Because it's honestly just not beneficial unless you can truly engage with that many people at a time and be intentional. It shouldn't be a focus. You shouldn't have a goal of like 20K followers, you know, unless you're like I said, on Brittany's level where she's intentionally built this network and can intentionally talk to these people constantly, or you know what I mean? Like if you went, I guess this is my thing. If you went viral tomorrow, would you be able to handle it? If 100 people asked you right now, I'm interested, are you able to handle it? Do you have a system in place? Have you been listening to us and like duplicating down what you're supposed to be doing? Can you plug potentials in? Do you have a spot to do that? Are you writing them all down? Or do you have 5 notebooks where you keep rewriting them? I want you to get something. I know this is so off topic and not what I was going to talk about tonight, but get a system down, because you need to, I always say this, but like get ready and stay ready. There's no reason to keep getting ready and getting 5 different notebooks. And like I said, if 100 people messaged you right now and said, what do you do? What is your system? What are you going to say to them? Do you know? If 5 people ordered from you and joined your team right now, how are you going to walk? Have you studied our plan? Have you looked through our guides? Have you went through them yourself? Do you know your 5s? Are you able to teach that to someone else? So I don't know why this is coming up, but I guess it was just on my heart really quick. But like, I want you to be confident in what you have your hands on as far as like how to walk people through this. Are you confident that what's in those guides are going to teach people? Have you even watched them? Have you taken the time to do that? Do you even take the time to listen to these trainings? Are you going to implement anything that I said tonight? That is the thing. Like we can sit here and talk. That's why I said I'm not going to go into a ton tonight, because we can sit and talk about these things that we've talked about a million times, but until you implement them, until you're truly ready for, you know, to level up your Instagram, to go and use these presets. Like, okay, you can sit down tonight and spend 6 hours on finding a preset that you like, but are you even going to take some pictures to put the preset on? Are you going to batch some content? Are you going to take a bunch of pictures and then not write captions and push it off? Like, are you going to take the time to do these things? Like, of course, it all sounds good and we get pumped while we're on this Zoom, but are you going to implement afterwards? So that is my thing. Like, we can sit here and give you the secret sauce over and over again, but until you take these things and like implement them and do them and use the preset and plan your content and be really intentional, then you're wasting your time. And I don't want you to waste your time. I don't want you to be hard on yourself because you feel like you're trying to accomplish and do a million different things, but you're really not doing the small little things. Like we've been unless you're brand new, let me just say this, unless you're brand new, we've been preaching presets forever. So you should have been at a preset. Like you should have been took the time. Like, I guess what I'm saying is it's about to be boom season. It already is boom season. I'm not saying it's not, but it's about to be a season that some of you all may have never experienced before. Maybe you all have been in for a year, but this time last year you weren't 100% in. Maybe you've been in a company before, but like you weren't 100% like on your results. My stuff's falling over. 100% like into a product and had results and everything else. Like you have no idea what can come from this if you're putting in the work, if you're showing up daily and being consistent, if you're putting the content out there. Stop wasting your time. Be intentional. It does not take that much to sit down and just take some pictures of yourself and get ready and plan some content out and be intentional about who you're attracting. Because that's the thing. Do you think about those things when you're posting? Do I sit and like say for the promoter that I want to attract is just like Becca. Am I sitting down and thinking about what would attract her to me? Like what am I posting that would make another mom go, wow, I do need energy like that. I do need an opportunity like that. I think I could do that. Like what you're putting out there gonna attract what you want back? Or are you just kind of running through the motions and throwing stuff up? So I want you to think about all that. I think that I covered all of my notes, to be honest. Does anybody have any questions? Let me think. I think that was all I had. Does anybody have any questions or anything? Anybody want to say anything? Have a tip? Have a suggestion? No? Crystal, go ahead.
I've been really like niching down on hashtags and the way of growing my network. And I mean, I've used them for a long time, and I've also used them to grow my network, but I've just been making them like my, I have brain fog today too, so I can't think of the word, but my focus IPA. So going in and so I've been, one of my pillars is fibromyalgia. And so I've been just finding a ton of different ones on that, and then going in and on the explore feed and Instagram, because Instagram is something I definitely need to grow better. And so instead of just saying that, I'm actually doing something about it. So going in and to the explore button, putting in that hashtag, and then going into either top or recent posts and ones that I align with. Like I know that they're going to get me and blah, blah, blah. So going in there and just adding those ones, and then going in and doing 3, 2, 1s on them. And I cannot believe just within a few days of intensely doing that, how much I have been viewing my stories, how much engagement I've had, how much I've been offering samples to them, because we've been having really good conversations. I get the question all the time, how do I word something? How do I go in and have a conversation with someone? How do I make it natural? When is the right time to offer Thrive? But when you are genuinely connecting with someone that is totally in your same mindset, those happen quickly. And that's how you go through it, like funnel those out, like we've been talked about before. So go in and really you can have those easy conversations like you would with anyone, but don't just mindlessly grow your network. And I think that's something in the beginning I didn't quite understand. I just thought I had to have this number. But when you're niched in with ones that have the same pillars as you and the mindset of you, and you talk naturally, you just grow so quick. So that's just something that I've been really trying to get, help my girls on, and showing them how important that is on my team. But definitely just go and do that for the next 2 or 3 days and see what happens. And then put it in the chat so we can all get a buzz around it.
Yeah, that's huge, is really, really knowing your people too. Obviously, if I'm a mom and I'm constantly busy, I'm not looking for I'm not saying I would, if somebody wanted to join me that's a college student, she couldn't, but that's not what I'm going out and finding. I cannot relate to anybody that's nothing against drinking and stuff, but I can't hang. So I'm not adding people that are at the bar every weekend because I don't want them to ask me to go with them. I'm not going to hang. I can't. So being really intentional about who you're having conversations with, do you have something to relate to? Carmen, did you want to say something? I see your hand up.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to reiterate what you said about being intentional, because this whole 9 months, not the whole 9 months, but probably the last 5 or 6 months, I thought that I was being intentional with my time, right? I was literally on my phone in conversations, posting, doing stories, doing 3, 2, 1s, right? But I don't know whose training it was. It was something in the boot camp. I don't know who did what when, but it was a light bulb moment, right? So, and it happened right at the very beginning of the month. And ever since then, I've been doing things a lot differently, and I'm having way different results. So it just shows me right there that even though I thought I was being intentional, I wasn't really being as intentional as I thought I was being. So it's okay to do a self audit on yourself, right? And when you do that, you have to genuinely do a self audit. You can't do a half-ass self audit and not be completely and utterly honest with yourself, because you're doing yourself an injustice, right? Because you can sit there and try to tell yourself that you're doing everything that you should be doing. But in all actuality, if we're doing everything that is laid out for us, there's no reason why we shouldn't be planting, watering, and harvesting, because it's there for a reason. That blueprint is right there. There's no reason for us to go and try to recreate that when it's right there for us already.
Sorry, my kids are bothering me. But it's true. So, and I'm glad that you all said something, because you all are, a little bit seasoned with us and stuff too. But it's very, very important to take and implement. I'm sorry, she's loud. Take and implement these things, because like I said, the season that we're about to go in is going to, of course, depend on you. I'm not going to say it's going to be this huge boom season if you're not working, if you're not showing up. It's not. You're not going to have whatever, but and you can't sit here and this is a 90-day business. I say this all the time. It's a 90-day business. What you're doing now, you're going to see in 90 days. And it may be less. It could be next week. You could have random people. I'm not saying that's not going to happen, but majority of your people, yes, you're already experiencing the fruit of the last 90 days. So if you're not experiencing anything, then that's what you were doing 90 days ago. And believe me, been there, done that. Y'all know I've been very, very transparent on when I've went 100% in, and I've had my times where I've, I've half-assed stuff. So, but that's the thing. We have to be honest with ourselves. So if you haven't, I'm not saying text Britt and be like, oh, I've been half-assed and whatever, but you have to be honest with yourself, or you're not going to be able to make the improvements that you need, or you're going to be jealous when this person or that person hits ranks and hits this and hits that, but you didn't put in the work. So like I'm saying right now, you can't wait 6 weeks from now and be like, hey, Krista, how did you say to get those presets? Come on, bro. That was 6 weeks ago. Come on. We got to get it together. Like, this is things that we got to do now. So if you have something on your heart, you need to implement it now, not wait till tomorrow, not wait till next week, not wait until Krista signed 15 people off of this. And now I want to implement it, because like I said, you're going to have a boom season if you're putting in the time. You're going to get back what you're putting in if you're truly putting that in. It may look good on the outside. It may look good that, your page could even look good. But if you're not having conversations in the back end, if you're not intentionally growing your network, you're talking to the same people over and over again, you're not getting anywhere. Asking upline questions, following inspired action tips from these trainings. Exactly. So we're not on here just to share and be heard, because my voice sounds like crap. I don't want to be heard right now. We're here to help you and tell you what we've learned, what we've experienced, and what you can truly implement to get results. So it's up to you whether you take those things and do it or not. So I think that's all I had. If you all have any questions, just put them in the chat. I will upload this, and it should be up like tonight or in the morning or something. But I love you all. Thank you for hopping on. Thank you. And can I add? Oh yeah, I don't know who that is. It says Galaxy. I don't see.
I just real quick want to share something that I learned yesterday. This may be common knowledge, but I was really excited. So on Instagram, everybody talks about how you can go to your followers and you can hit least interacted with. And I was like, I wish I could do that on Facebook. Like, I have thousands of friends on Facebook, but I don't talk to any of them. So yesterday I figured out that you can, if you hit on Facebook, if you hit the 3 lines in the top right hand corner, and then you hit where it says friends, and then you hit my friends list, in the top right hand corner there'll be a little blue word. It says sort. You can sort it from your oldest friends to your newest friends. So when I did that this week, it brought up all these high school friends that I used to talk to on a regular basis, which opened up a whole, even though they're on my friends list, it's like a whole new market where I can like start conversations and let's catch up, like, how you been? Plus I was able to remove people that are like not active on Facebook anymore. So it changed the game for me as far as like getting in touch with my already market. So hopefully somebody didn't know that and it helps.
Thank you for sharing that. And then also, I will tell you all, if you go and search, it's probably under like growing your networks trainings that I've done in the past. And I think Brittany shared it too. There are other things that you can use, like apps for Instagram, even stuff that you don't have to pay for. And then like I'm not going to go into it all tonight because it's on other trainings, but there's like a website you can go to for Facebook that you can filter your friends too. So that's other things that if you feel like this is the thing though. Only if you feel like you're putting in the effort that you need to, that you've made your post, you've done your IPAs, then you need to take it to an extra step and be like, okay, now I want to filter my friends. Now I want to these are extra steps where you don't have to focus on 24/7. But like maybe once a week, okay, let me sit down and see who my least interacted with, things like that, and just take it to the next level. So there are trainings on that in the team page that I've done before that I know. I've shared apps, I've shared websites, stuff like that. So if you are interested in stuff like that, just go search the team page. We have all kinds of stuff in there. So I love you all. Happy Wednesday. I hope everyone has an amazing week. If you are sick, I know a lot of us are. I hope you feel better. Prayers for quick healing for everyone. Love y'all. Have a good night.